Before we get into the video, please consider liking and subscribing. So we are here to discuss the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Now, this game was pure domination by the Bills. Like, it's almost to the point where you have almost no words for this game. The Bills, every aspect, every part of this game killed the New England Patriots, and it wasn't even close. Like, it may have been close at the beginning, but it after that Micah Hyde interception, it wasn't even close. The Bills won 47-17. And when I mentioned the fact that that interception that Mac Jones threw early in the game, if that ball is 6 inches more forward and deeper, that would have been a touchdown, and maybe the way this game goes would be completely different. But that Micah Hyde interception, which was fantastic, completely changed this game from the jump. Like, from the jump, this game was completely out of hand for the New England Patriots. And once Buffalo got that interception, they did not look back. They just put pedal to the metal the entire freaking game. And they had no issues running up the score, leaving their starters in there. Like, Josh Allen was pulled for the kneel downs, and that was it. Like, it was just an absolute mauling of the Patriots by the Bills. Like, you look at Josh Allen's numbers, 21 of 25, 308 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than he had incompletions. Devin Singletary ran the ball great. 16 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.1 yards per carry. Like, the Bills offensively could not be stopped. The Bills had no punts, no interceptions, no fumbles, no field goals. 7 touchdowns and 7 drives. Excluding the kneel down, but, you know, whatever. We don't really count those. 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. Like, this was a pure dominating performance. And if you look at the Patriots, their defense, which came in, top 5, definitely top 10, coming into this game, could not stop a single soul. Even if they tried in this game, they couldn't stop a single thing. Like, there was one point where they put up a graphic where the Bills were averaging 9.1 yards per play. The Patriots defense, which, if you ask me, makes no sense why they were bad tonight. They shouldn't be this bad, especially with Bill Belichick, who seems to have his guys ready every single week. He had nobody ready. This Patriots team as a whole, nobody, and I mean nobody on the Patriots was ready today. Not a single soul was ready on this game for the Patriots. Their defense, which was good, was absolutely horrendous. And then if you look at their offense, and I said this from the beginning, I said if the Patriots defense plays bad and the Patriots can't run the football, they're losing this game, because you cannot trust Mac Jones, and you couldn't trust Mac Jones. He threw 2 interceptions tonight, cost the Patriots. I mean, you could say Mac Jones cost them the game, whatever. The bad defense cost them. The bad offensive play cost them. No run game cost them. Not able to pass the ball cost them. Like, you can chalk this up to one thing or everything. I don't care. The Patriots were garbage, hot garbage in this game the entire time. There was not one. I don't even think there was a moment where I thought the Patriots played well. Like, I really do not think there was a moment where I thought the Patriots played a single moment of good football. I really don't. And I mean, I think everybody saw it coming. If it relied on Mac Jones to throw the football, they were going to be bad. And I knew it making my predictions. I was like, this defense at the Patriots, if it has a bad day stopping Josh Allen, which they did, if they can't run the football, the Patriots, they were losing this game. And that's exactly what happened. And I didn't think it would get this bad. I thought, maybe their defense would keep it a little bit close. No, their defense just got either exposed, or at some point in this game, they just gave up or something, because the execution was poor. Their energy was poor. There wasn't a single thing about this Patriots team that I think you can come out with that was positive in this game. I really don't. Like, this was disgusting. I think this was the worst playoff loss by the Patriots under Bill Belichick, and it's just, I think it's safe to say the Patriots as we know them or knew them is just gone. Like, after, you can say, we know Tom Brady won this divorce. Like, we know. Like, as much as we were hyping it up, before the playoffs, we were like, oh, we want a Patriots-Buccaneers Super Bowl. Because part of me was like, well, if the Chiefs and Packers don't make it, I think the storylines of that other one, the Buccaneers and the Patriots, would have been a cool story. But we didn't get that. It was just disgusting, this game. Nobody was ready on the Patriots team. Not a single person was ready. And you look at the Patriots this season, like they started off slow. They were 2-4 at one point. They rallied, and at one point they were the number 1 seed in the AFC, which I thought was impressive. They had a rookie quarterback at Mac Jones, and I was guilty of it. I was like, hey, the Patriots are back. The Patriots are back, and it's going to be, the same thing again for 20 years. Like mid-season, we were like, okay, it's back to the Patriots being back. They completely fell apart late in the season. They were bad late in the season. Their only notable win, it really feels like, I mean, they beat the Jaguars by like 40, and then they beat the Bills the first time they played. But Mac Jones threw it 3 times, and they ran the ball like crazy. They ran it like 46 times. And I think from that moment on, Buffalo was just sitting there like, okay, we see how it's going to be. And I think Buffalo, the last 2 times they played the Patriots, just left it all on the field. I really do feel like they just left it all on the field. Now, because it happened in the playoffs, I think this was actually, this may be a hot take, but I think this was probably the worst thing for the Bills to do this week. I think the Bills should have went in there, still played the best game that they possibly could, but there was times where people were mentioning it. Maybe the Bills were playing with a little bit too much emotion in this game, and they were intent. Like obviously, it felt like they were running up the score. I have no problem with that. Like I'm all in favor for running up the score. Like they were playing this game like it was Madden on rookie mode with all the sliders turned all the way down to 0 for the Patriots. Like that's how bad it was. But I think for the Bills morale going into next week, it may be too much of an emotional high this week. Like, because you look at the Raiders, they had to play last week, and then they came in and then they lost to the Bengals. The Raiders, they were close into that game. It came down to the final play. But if you look at the Bills in the first round of the playoffs, possibly playing somebody, I think it was Kansas City or Cincinnati, hopefully they didn't use too much energy on the Patriots, because it kind of felt like it, because the Bills are now the team to beat in the AFC East. I think it's safe to say that. I think the Patriots have fallen to middle of the pack status in the NFL. Like, you can't put them too low, because they made the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. But I think it's safe to say the Bills own the AFC East now, won it back-to-back years, and I hope they didn't use too much energy, because my gut feeling says is they blew too much smoke in this game, wanting to beat the Patriots, wanting to show the NFL that they're the new kings of their division, and maybe even they want to try to show that they're the kings of the AFC. I really hope the Bills didn't blow too much smoke, but my gut feeling is they wanted to leave everything on the table because they were playing the Patriots, playing Bill Belichick in the playoffs. So that's just my gut reaction to the Bills. It was a great win. I'm not taking anything away from this win whatsoever. 7 drives, 7 touchdowns, literally couldn't be stopped. Josh Allen was perfect. Devin Singletary could run the ball. Josh Allen ran the ball well. Dawson Knox had a good game. Like, you can go down the list of every single person on the Bills, and they had a fantastic football game. Like, I don't think there's one guy that didn't. I don't think there was one person that had a bad game for the Bills. Like, the coaching was great. Brian Dable made a great impression for his next coaching job, wherever he ends up going as a head coach. He's going to be a head coach, and wherever he goes, that team's probably going to be very good, or at least, probably making the playoffs their first year. That he has a great offense. If he goes to somewhere like Chicago, he has Justin Fields. If he can work on Justin Fields like he worked with Josh Allen, well, the Bears might be a team that's scary in the future. But this game was a straight up clowning. I mean, the Bills were 6 of 7 on third down. Like, that's just insane to me. I think it was 85% on third down. Like, sorry if the energy's low in this video, but there's not much to talk about. Like, the Bills straight up were ready, clowned the heck out of the Patriots, blew them out of the water, wanted to show that they were legit in their division, which I think they are now. Josh Allen, he's a likable guy, easy guy to root for. I'm officially a fan of his now. After he had a rough season at times this year, he really did. But there was a couple games this year, this one in particular, when he played the Buccaneers, like that second half gritty performance he had was just amazing. So the Bills, I think they're a legit team, but I also think they may have blew too much smoke in this one game, and they're going to be on an emotional high all week, and then they're going to come into a team, especially if it's somebody like the Chiefs, if they can handle their business against the Steelers. It's going to be trouble for the Bills because they blew everything they had this week, it feels like. and it's going to be a long road ahead for them. But that is my recap of the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. The Bills won 47-17. Give me your thoughts down below of what you thought of this game, and I'll see you in the next one.